Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 14 of the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now, as always, Nathan, like we do, before we get on to this week's predictions, we're going to have a quick look back at how well we got on, and you guys got on in week 13.
Last week was a bit of an okay week for me. I got one perfect score, that being Wolves to beat Bournemouth 2-1, where I had 7 points overall last week.
And myself, I came with 8 points, getting two perfect scores, which was the Leicester 2-0 away win over the Seagulls Brighton, and Liverpool's 2-1 victory away from home again against Crystal Palace. So apart from that, it was a difficult week to predict. Representing the viewers last week was Beckham Dominic, and Beckham unfortunately came away with just 3 points. So overall now, Nathan, for the season, you're on 97 points, I'm on 102 points, and the viewers are on 93 points. Top scorer of the week last week. There weren't that many high scores, but there was a couple of 11s in there. But coming away with 15 points was the Dugout Football Channel, who's run by Douglas James Horn, friend of the show, and he also runs his own football YouTube channel as well. So I'll leave a link in the description as well, so check out his channel after, of course, you've seen this video. But Douglas, congratulations on that 15-point haul, and well done. And 5 perfect scores as well. Yeah, that is excellent. I wonder if you had a little bit of cash on that. As usual, at the moment, I'm going to leave the Fantasy Football League, the top 10, to the end of the show, along with a review of our predictions as well. But without further ado, let's crack on and make some predictions.
Okay, so first up we have the midday fixture between Newcastle and Man City. Now, Man City get a good result against Chelsea last time, which you got to be proud of that, Man City fans. Whereas Newcastle lost to Villa. Like, how did you lose to Villa? Newcastle genuinely looked horrific there. Yes, one of the goals was a fantastic free kick, but at the same time, Newcastle just looked dreadful to watch. So I can only go for one thing here, a Man City 3-0 victory. Will Sterling, for you fantasy football players, actually get some points this week instead of blanking for like the last 3 or 4 weeks in a row?
Yeah, but we could talk all day about VAR. VAR. But yeah, we'll leave that to another video, I think. But yeah, I agree. I'm going to go for a Manchester City win in this one as well. I think they will concede. They haven't kept that many clean sheets this season. They've been away in Europe. They've been home in Europe this week as well. Drawing, I think it was 1-1
against Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah. So and Aguero as well, probably going to be out for this weekend as well.
Have Jesus up front.
Yeah, but Newcastle last weekend, or I should say Monday. How I didn't see the stat, blaringly obvious to me. Their form on a Monday evening, absolutely terrible. Kicking myself that I didn't go for an Aston Villa win in that one.
Same here.
Yeah, but I'm going for a 3-1 victory to the Citizens in this one. First of the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday is Burnley against Crystal Palace. Burnley coming away with a fine 3-0 victory last weekend against Watford. Watford were kind of picking up a little bit themselves, but at home against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace narrowly losing against Liverpool 2-1. I think it was Wilfred Zaha's first goal of the season as well. So Burnley winning their last 2 matches on the trot now. They find themselves in 7th position, very congested, like we've said in previous videos as well, in that sort of mid-table of the Premier League. But I'm going to go for a home win in this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Burnley.
Actually, I disagree with you here. It's a tricky one to predict. Anything could happen on this one. Burnley getting a really good result last time, and actually saying that a really good away win as well, which is very rare for a Burnley side to win by such a margin, especially away as well. But Palace, you could say, traditionally good away against a team that's good at home, so very difficult to predict. But I don't know, because Burnley tend to stutter with their form a little bit. Even though they've won their last 2 games, I can see them maybe getting a draw here. They haven't drawn in quite a while, so it's difficult. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw on this one. Probably Zaha's going to add another to his account, and we'll score for Burnley. I'm going to put my money on McNeil, I reckon.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up, we got Chelsea versus West Ham. Now, many West Ham fans calling for Pellegrini to get sacked.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's the right decision, but looking at their form, it depends who can you bring in that will do a better job than Pellegrini. That's what you got to ask at the moment. And is there anyone, would you say?
I think Benitez has been spouted about.
Yeah.
I think.
I doubt it though.
Yeah. But I think Everton would like. Well, listening to somebody on the radio today, Everton fans would like Benitez as well.
Yeah, I think anyone would like Benitez really. But coming up against the Chelsea team, did lose to Man City last week, but then again, that's Man City, and I thought they did put up a fair fight. And Chelsea, really good form recently. I think they won like 6 or 7 games on the bounce. So I got to give Frank Lampard's going to want his team to bounce back. Tammy Abraham going off injured earlier in that game against Valencia, I believe. He's definitely not going to be fit for the weekend. I can see probably 2 Pulisic goals, and I don't know, throwing out there another Kante goal or even a Willian goal. Might not be a miracle, but I can see this one being a 3-0 victory to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will win this one. However, I can't see them keeping a clean sheet. I think.
Really?
The defence.
West Ham can't score though.
No, I know, but it's a little bit of a calendar there at the back for Chelsea. They've conceded 19 goals in their 13 fixtures this season so far, so I think West Ham will get a goal, but I can see Chelsea being too strong for them in midfield. Very dynamic, young. They've got lots of options in that midfield as well, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 victory to the West End of London against the East End of London. Next up, we got Liverpool up against Brighton. Oh, incidentally, on that West Ham haven't actually won in the league since 22nd of September as well, so quite a long time for the Hammers there. So as I said, next up we got Liverpool against Brighton. Liverpool winning 12 of their 13 fixtures.
Fantastic
so far. Absolutely brilliant, even though a lot of people aren't saying they're not at their peak at the moment, but they seem to be coming away with victory after victory. It just keeps rolling on. They're taking one game at a time as well. They are in Champions League action this evening at the time of recording, but they should be too strong for this Brighton side, who find themselves just below mid-table last weekend, or second weekend on the trot, where they did lose last weekend, losing at home against the Foxes of Leicester, which is, we know that Leicester have been fantastic this season, and prior to that, a surprise, you could say, for myself, losing against Manchester United. But in this one, I fully expect Liverpool to this one. I think Liverpool keep a rare clean sheet.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Liverpool. Yeah,
with Brighton's form recently, especially against those good sides, they haven't really put up performances worthy of anything, like 3-1 to Man United, 2-0 to Leicester, not really scoring against the big teams, and that loss against Aston Villa as well. So I can see Liverpool also keeping a clean sheet, but I just think Liverpool are going to run away with it. Klopp is going to want them to give a real impression to the likes of Leicester, Man City and Chelsea. So I'm going to say a 4-0 solid victory to Liverpool. Next up, we have Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Now, Jose Mourinho's first Tottenham game in charge, at home. I never thought I'd be saying that, especially with him saying that he'd never managed Tottenham either. Coming up against a Bournemouth side who've only won once in the last 6 matches. 3 of those, half of those have been losses. So I fancy Tottenham's chances in this one. They do look really good at the moment as well. Mourinho's really turned it around there, and I can definitely see a solid 2-0 Tottenham victory at home. Probably 2 Harry Kane goals there.
Yeah, he scored a couple of goals in Europe last night, coming back from 2-0 down against Olympiacos to gain that 4-2 victory. Last weekend, conceding 2 goals as well. So Mourinho, he's only been in charge for 2 matches. Normally with Mourinho sides, they're solid at the back, but Tottenham are leaking goals, but they are scoring as well in this one. I think they will beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth can have to start to turn things. They've lost their last 2 matches, and Bournemouth really need to shore up a lot at the back. I know going back 3-4 weeks ago they were keeping clean sheets, so I think they're gonna go to Tottenham and maybe park the bus slightly. But I think Tottenham are going to come away with this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Could see scores on the score sheet. Probably Harry Kane as well. Yeah, I'm going for a 2-1 victory to Tottenham. Next up, we got the 5:30 kick-off between Southampton against Watford. Now, both find themselves at the foot of the table.
They're both awful.
Yeah, Watford last weekend, I thought they would do a lot better than they did against Burnley at home, but Burnley proved me wrong and coming away with that victory. And this one is very hard to call. It's at Southampton on the south coast. Really don't know what to expect with Southampton, drawing, losing, etc. So I'm going to have to sit on the fence with this one, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this fixture. It's my first draw of the weekend.
Yeah, both teams have been playing some embarrassing football recently, gotta be honest. I mean, Southampton 31 goals against, that's ridiculous for this time of the season. I mean, how do you let in that ridiculous amount of goals in such a short space of time? Watford, problem scoring, but Troy Deeney is back. Thought that would help a little bit since he was out for a bit, but that hasn't helped at all. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen in this one. I was going to say 0-0, but I don't know. Probably I can't see it being goalless in the Premier League, and I'm just going to say 1-1. Probably Delafeu, I'm going to say, and I don't even know. I'm going to put for Southampton.
Ward-Prowse?
No. He scored last week, and I can't see him scoring this week. Let me think. I don't know. Shane Long. Put that out there.
If he gets in the side.
If he gets in the side, of course, but I can just see him coming on and scoring one at the end. But anyway, moving on to Sunday, we've got Norwich versus Arsenal. Now, how are you meant to predict this one?
Yeah, this was probably my most difficult prediction of the weekend, I think so.
Yeah, because you've got the likes of Norwich. Yes, they did win last week, but their form prior to that was just awful. Pookie party's well and truly over, and not really much is happening. Whereas Arsenal, where do you start with them? Haven't won in the last 5 matches, been drawing, losing, left, right and centre. The Arsenal fans are angry as anything. They want Emery to be thrown out the window and the Arsenal board to be sent to the moon. I'm gonna take a risk with this one, and just because of how poor Arsenal have been, especially at the back, where it's honestly like a colander where it just goes straight down the sink, all of your contents, including the potato trimmings. I can definitely see a Norwich win. I can definitely see Norwich win 1-0 against the Gunners, and if Norwich actually end up beating Arsenal, then goodbye Emery. They gotta sack him if Arsenal lose. So 1-0 Norwich.
Yeah, I don't know how Norwich with their defensive line are going to keep a clean sheet in this one. Very difficult fixture to predict this one. I think Arsenal have only won 1 match in the last 7 fixtures as well. So could be a Norwich victory, could be a draw, could be Arsenal. I was thinking about a draw, but then I thought surely the quality in Arsenal's ranks are going to come through. Even though Norwich did well last week away against Everton, that was a very, very good victory. But Norwich, is it a bit of fortress there? Yes and no. They did beat Man City there earlier in the season, so you should, all things are pointing to a Norwich victory. But I'm going to go for Arsenal in this one. Pains me to say, and I think they're going to come away with a 2-1 win at the end of the day. Next up, we got Wolverhampton Wanderers at home against Sheffield United.
This is the hardest one.
Another very difficult fixture to predict. Sheffield United haven't lost away in the league this season. Wolves, I think they've only lost 2 matches as well. Be on a great run, find themselves in 5th position in Europa League spots at the moment. So will there be many goals in this one? I don't know. I don't think there will be. I think they're going to cancel themselves out. Bit of a stalemate. I'm going to go for a tight 0-0 in this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, there could be goals. There couldn't be. But I'm going to go for 0-0. Sometimes you do that 0-0 in the Premier League, and I'm going for a 0-0 in this one.
Interesting. Well, I can actually see both sides scoring, and I can actually see both sides scoring in this one. I can't see Sheffield United losing away from home, especially with their form. And I think Wolves are just going to try at least for the draw in this one, looking around the table in what position they are in. So, they'll cancel each other out with 1 goal apiece. Next up, we've got Leicester versus Everton. Now, Everton looking dreadful as well. Won 2 matches in their last 6, but losing 3 as well. Leicester won their last 5 matches on the bounce, looking incredible. And Everton just can't seem improving at the moment. It's clear that Marco Silva has to go soon, and that's what the Everton fans really want. So even Big Sam Allardyce came out on TalkSport this week saying that Marco Silva's just ruined Everton, really. So I can see it being a solid 4-0 Leicester win at the King Power.
Yeah, I think the Foxes will win this one as well. Not as convincing as you say, Nathan. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for the home side. I think Everton are going to go there. They're going to want to be solid, but with the fluidity and the quality that Leicester have got in their midfield ranks. Vardy is in the form of his life as well. I can only see a victory to the Foxes, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. The last game of the weekend, also on Sunday, also at 4:30 as well, is Manchester United against Aston Villa. Manchester United, difficult to really predict them at the moment.
Turn up one week.
Yeah, kind of strong at home. Don't know what they're like away as well. Sort of, I don't know with Manchester United.
Is Phil Jones a footballer, first of all? They can defend better than him.
They are in 9th position. 17 points, only 2 points behind Wolves in 5th position. So Aston Villa getting a good victory, a home win against Newcastle on Monday evening. So they're going to go up to Old Trafford. They're going to attack them. However, I think Man United at home probably going to be a little bit too strong for them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory to the Red Devils in this one, but it wouldn't surprise me if Villa come away with a draw. But yeah, I'm going to go for the purpose of this predictions video. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Man United.
I disagree with you slightly. I think there'll definitely be goals in this one. Villa are going to go out. Dean Smith going to make Villa go out and attack, and basically build upon what they showed in the Newcastle match. Definitely make a statement at Old Trafford, that's for sure. Man United, I think they're going to start to drop a little bit now with their form, especially against a side like Villa who likes to attack a lot, and with the weakness that Man United showed in their defence last week, especially with Phil Jones. That was horrific to watch against Sheffield United, and it was kind of a miracle that they actually came and drew that game. But yeah, I can see this one being a stalemate as well. 1-1 draw. Yeah, I can see a Rashford goal and I'm going to go for a El Ghazi or a Trezeguet goal.
Okay, excellent. So that concludes our predictions for week 14 of this 2019-2020 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. All you need to do, as usual, is copy and paste them into your comment. Unlike Douglas James Horn, or if you like the Dugout Football channel, you can get a shout out in the next video on Friday. As always, I'm going to let you guys know via community post or Instagram who is going to be representing the viewers for week 14, and at the moment the viewers find themselves trailing in 3rd position in our little league. Now, before we go, very briefly, Nathan, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, as we do this every time a manager gets sacked, because we weren't able to do it last week, who do you think the next manager sacking will be?
If Arsenal go away and lose against Norwich, pressure will mount on Emery, I think. Whether he'll get sacked, because we've seen historically when Wenger has gone through some tough times, they don't get rid of them. They're managed, so we'll wait and see. But if Everton lose, they have got a tough fixture, so maybe he's got a little bit of respite, maybe for a couple of weeks there. But I think Emery's position at the moment is precarious.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same with you. I reckon if Norwich beat Arsenal this week, Emery's going to be gone. Simple as that, because especially with their form, it's just not really acceptable for a club of Arsenal's size, and their fans will their brains will explode, especially on Arsenal fan TV if he doesn't get signed sooner or later. And then as for Marco Silva and Everton, I can actually see them sacking him after this game, mainly because you're saying that it's a tricky fixture for Everton, but if you look at their next, I'd say about 7 or 8 matches, really, really difficult, all of them. I think you're facing the majority of the teams outside or inside the top 10. So I mean, if you look at their fixtures, you've got Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, and Burnley as their next
And then
matches.
going away to Newcastle, and Newcastle haven't lost so far at home
Exactly.
since the first day of the season. So
And then straight after that, you got Man City. So what do you do from there?
very difficult run of fixtures there.
Difficult. So I reckon they'll just chop him instantly. Apart from that, if you exclude those two clubs, most at risk after that, probably Hassan Hutel, I imagine, or Watford's Kike Sanchez.
Yeah, I think they're, what are they, bottom but one, Southampton? So,
Yeah, bottom but one.
Yeah, couple. I don't think, if they lose this weekend, I don't think he'll get sacked, but maybe going forward then perhaps...
You could even say Pellegrini, but I can't see a suitable replacement.
Yeah, you never know, but... as always, Nathan, very enjoyable a Wednesday evening making these predictions. Thanks to everybody for putting their predictions in the comment section as well. But for now,
We'll bid you farewell.
and we'll see you in the next video real soon.
Cheers, guys.